Kia ora koutou e te whānau, te umuariki mai here, and me aku mihi nui kia koutou who have been supporting us on our journey with Te Reo Māori and celebrating some of our new rauemi resources that we've had made up. One of them being Te Arapiki tohu wā, sort of derived and come from, actually, to tell the truth, from the Rākau, the Cuisinere method of teaching by the ātarangi back in the day when I was with the whānau, and they were teaching me this method of whakatako tō rākau. This might look a little bit busy, but once you get the pattern, you can see it's a pattern. Hey, everything's about little patterns, building patterns. Tēnei, tēnā, tērā, ko au, ko koe, ko ia. Yeah, and it's sort of derived from there, and I went out and made one. I made a big one at the back there. It's quite big, it's quite large, out of 50 by 50. But from there we made a little prototype and sort of took that idea and celebrated it, and yeah, and this has been the outcome. Been looking forward to having these built. This particular one is all about Te Arapiki, being the staircase there, tohu wā, and we're developing some other ones too as we speak to help do other things. But yeah, he mihi nui to the ātarangi and to all those different wānanga out there that have been all contributing to the journey of sharing and normalising our Te Reo Māori in all the different spaces. And since COVID, we've had to sort of like think about things, and hence the a lot more of us, all of our mahi different whānau jumping online now. So yeah, doing classes online has become quite popular now. But I'd just like to acknowledge and mihi to those who have helped me, and we've just had our new series. Some of them are done. This particular one, that's Te Arapiki Pangaro. And for those who know, that's a little bit about mathematics. But sort of back in the day, actually, to why we're there, back in the day, I don't know all their names properly, but I don't know, for those who remember the Cuisinere rods when we were at school at Kura, when we were young, and we used them for mathematics. And my favourite colour always used to be called crimson, crimson, and they were made out of wood in those days, hence the word Rākau. But it became more expedient and cost effective to make them out of plastic, because wood, they were quite expensive. But these particular ones, I decided to make them out of wood because that's us, and Te Waunui Atani and the forest of mankind. So yeah, we'll come back to this one. And this here, and in my little story, I'll sort of make up, but it does come from a place of reading that I've done. And one day there was this, let's just say there was this chap, and I don't know his full name, but his last name was Cuisinere. And he majored in mathematics and equations and mathematics, okay, Cuisinere. And then one day he come along, this other chap, they come across each other, and his name was Caleb Gatengo. And his thing was linguistics and languages. But if you think about it, they're all formulas and sequences and ways of stringing together an equation for mathematics, or a formula for sentences, for sentence structures and languages. So they sort of got together and they developed a method known as the silent method, probably more because it was a visual method. Anyway, I might as well carry on the story to my knowledge, and it's not perfect whānau, but the story that I've come to know was when our kuia and those that supported them, Katarina Mataira and Ngoingoi Pewhairangi, heard about this method, the silent method, and they thought, let's go. I think it was to Fiji to have a look back in the 70s. And they thought, well, if there's this guy there, Caleb Gatengo, and I'm not sure where he's from, don't quote me if it was Peru, but don't quote me, but from some foreign country. But if this man can go with his method, and he can teach, say, American Navy SEALs in Fiji, how to speak Fijian, there's something in that. And so they went, and this is the result actually, whānau, is it come back known as the Rako Method. They did the Rako Method back in those days, more for adults and family and different type of learning, but not only limited to, because at that time they were also developing the kohanga reo, for the nest of the reo being for the tamariki and the mokopuna in the kohanga reo in the 70s. And at that time also they were developing a method for the adults and the pakeke, a method that would work for us, and hence and then eventually become known as the ātarangi method. The ātarangi, and while I'm on it, there's their tohu or logo, and that tree there, that rako there, is symbolic of these rako, whether they're plastic, but that rako there is symbolic of us. And in the tree, if there's a tree, you know it creates a shade, and underneath that shade, that canopy, that's the ātarangi. And the ātarangi, and that rako is us, as leaves and branches of the tree of being. And it's black on the white there because it's manifest in the world of enlightenment where we live. And on the bottom there, that's the roots, that's the tipuna. And it's under there, it's grounded, and it comes from, and the width of those roots there, and that gives it stability below and above the ground. And above the ground, that creates an ātarangi. Ka pai, it's all symbolic of us as well, as we stand here on this earth, and the shadow we cast as we walk on this earth, and that's our ātarangi. The ātarangi in the middle, that's what grounds us, and that's the papa. That's the papa, the tua papa o Te Reo. And its tikanga and its whole purpose is kia kore koe e ngaro taku reo rangatira, lest you be lost, my noble language. So there you go, whānau, a little bit of a kōrero, and I'd like to mihi to the people up at the Shared Project. Dennis, I call him Tenahi Waltz, Dennis, and he's been making me a few taonga. So can you make us a matawa? And he made us a big giant one. Yeah, he thinks I like them all huge because that's the original one there. But there you go. And a little bit there. And then our recent things we've been doing is we created, through COVID there, what we call the iiPapa. Usually just has, and everyone calls it the iiPapa, but it's iiPapa, and that stands for interactive information. And the iiPapa is the Māori word for tablet, as we know, and the ipurangi, that's the internet. So on there we've been building our mātauranga, and you guys have been contributing. And the iiPapa is an online self-directed educator with, I don't know, there's about 500 videos on there now, and these are all what comes with it. Hopefully you might come up. Was just a bit of an impromptu one, this one. There's some that's on the go at the moment, but so it has videos and it has written tutorials, it has auditorials as well. This one's just about the matawa, but there's a kaupapa for all the occasions, and we're sort of integrating in with the Te Maramataka Māori at the moment as well. So that series there was about the Maramataka Māori, and as you know, there's a lot of mātauranga out there now, and we just simply were using the Maramataka to support us on our journey of learning Te Reo. But you know, the experts are out there with all that mātauranga, but our thing is about Te Reo. That's our current kaupapa courses we're running at the moment, and that's the mahi there about the tenses we're working on at the moment, and using these taonga here. And Joe, I suppose just in finishing, that's our latest thing is if it's all about visual, then we've been creating these visual diaries. So we have these visual diaries, just that's a week's worth of work there, to help people see it every day, normalise it in their homes, yeah, and start using and sharing and loving our reo Māori. Anyway, that's probably about enough. I was only supposed to be a short one. There's my messy kouta kitchen. Yeah, little quick look around my untidy tari. The keita pai, ngā taonga, a kuima, a koroma, some mahi on the go over there. Still working on the maramataka. I've been making these poi and taonga for the last couple of years. There's 80 pairs there and some Rākau. Just working on trying to get fit again. Had a year sitting on my bum doing all these online experiences, but started working on the maramataka like everyone else. I think I started about 2004, but that whole thing there is supposed to be an interactive whiteboard, the green part on the outside, and that was an interactive whiteboard, and then integrating the maramataka and normalising it in schools and hospitals and workplaces. But in the meantime, I just got that little one. There's some more screens. There's my kids when they were kids. Now they got whānau of their own, and our mokopuna. But there you go, everyone. Little look around. There's the kaupapa. It's always been our kaupapa here. Manaaki tangata, he huarahi. Nurture mankind, a way of life. I wish you well this evening, today, wherever you are in the world. We're all here at Te Wao Nui a Tāne in the forest of mankind, wishing you well at these sort of uncertain times, but also they can be seen as exciting times too. Take care, much love, see you soon. Maybe you might jump on soon and join me in the wānanga. Have some new stuff coming up. The next series will be the, I think next season it'll be, we have something again for the, another taonga we're getting made, and we'll be using that for the Karakia. Then in the new year, for next year, probably going to be my last year doing this, because I've got my eye on sort of just going into another level of the same thing. But next year, we'll probably look at doing Kura Kaiako online. Kura Kaiako online, watch out for that shortly, whānau, where you can teach your whānau, your friends, and your workmates, not so much teach, but share te reo with your whānau, using different taonga, using an iiPapa, using different things. Yeah, something to think about anyway, whānau. Take care. All right, big shout out to Rongo, let peace reign. E rongo, whakairia, ki ronga, kia tīna, haumi e, hui e, taiki e. Supposed to be a short one.